They don't think it be like it is, but it do. Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content. Hooray, we're back, we're doing the thing again, and today we're jumping into rSlash NeckbeardStories, because it seems to be like the new favorite of this channel. We used to do a lot of entitled parent stuff. I guess that's going the way of the dinosaurs, and I want to focus on weeaboos and neckbeards and incels. Oh my. Of course, I can't give entitled parents up completely, but that's neither here nor there. Neckbeards, if you didn't know, are those meek, mild-mannered gentlemen that will probably call you m'lady. And they think that growing the beard of a lumberjack can make them into a real man, which is simply not the case, as we will soon see. So with all that out of the way, let's jump into it with our first story. The neckbeard my sister was dating tried to force me to mess around with him. Uh-oh. Hey guys, after listening to a bunch of neckbeard stories on YouTube, hey, I decided to share one that I was a part of around 14 months ago. I don't know if this entirely fits, but here it is. Also, first post, new to Reddit, formatting mobile, all those apologies. I'll be changing all the names except mine, because I don't really care about my own being out there. So that being said, here's the story. Last year, I would pick my sister up from school since she didn't have a car, and I wasn't going to college. She was 17, I was 19. Now my sister, she'll be called Elle, was your typical neckbeard bait. She's fairly attractive, long blonde hair, green eyes, and a great personality. She's a joy to be around and seems to like everyone and everything. She's watched quite a bit of anime and read lots of manga. Elle's friend group was normal, filled with people who fit her interests and personality. I've talked to quite a few of her friends, one of them being my own, and they're all chill, really good people, which makes it so weird that the neckbeard, NB, was part of it. NB wasn't the stereotypical neckbeard in terms of looks. It's the neckbeard on the inside that counts, OP. He was actually pretty attractive. He was lean, never smelled like BO, and wasn't greasy. He did, however, have a bit of a neckbeard growing. Baby beard. So by looks, you wouldn't expect it. He liked anime and all that, but his personality was just god-awful. He was constantly putting others down, subtly, but it was still there. He was a major creep, and it was freaking scary how good he was at manipulation, and making it seem like he wasn't degrading his and Elle's friend, as well as Elle, even if he was. Once I met him, I disliked him. I have a lot of experience with people like him, so I knew pretty quickly what type of guy he was. I voiced these concerns to Elle, but she brushed them off, believing that there was good in everyone. Not true. The first time I met him was when I went to pick my sister up from an after-school club. Forgot which one, but Neckbeard was in it too. Probably anime club. Yep, safe bet. She asked me to give him a ride home as well, so I decided that since he was her boyfriend, it wouldn't be that bad. Wait, he's her boyfriend? When did that happen? Oh, ho, ho, how wrong I was. Right off the bat, he'd noticed my shirt. Neckbeard,
is that a Green Day shirt? Oh, I love them.
OP, oh really? They're one of my favorite bands. Neckbeard,
yeah, I'd totally love to have a night with the singer, you know, alone. Come to think of it, you kind of look like him. What's your name?
OP, starting to become very uncomfortable. Oh, I'm Gerard. Neckbeard,
I love that name. Rolls off the tongue nicely.
I started to get very uncomfortable now. Elle didn't seem to notice, so I didn't mention it, not wanting to ruin her day. Normally, saying I look like Billy Joel Armstrong would be an ordinary compliment I received. I had the same hair as him, and somewhat the same fashion sense, but the comment before the comparison rubbed me wrong, and the part about my name, even more so. I stopped the conversation there, and we didn't say anything else to each other until I dropped him off. Neckbeard,
thanks for the ride. Maybe I'll see you later.
He gave this awkward wink before walking away, and Elle moved to the front seat. OP, I don't like him. Elle, he's nice once you get to know him, really. She seemed set on that, so I didn't push the topic more. Over the next few months, I'd seen a lot more of Neckbeard, enough to see that he was not the nice guy that I wanted around Elle, or anyone really. He was perverted and degrading, and I absolutely despised him. But the encounter I'd like to talk about is what happened on Elle's birthday. She invited all her friends, including Neckbeard. I'd gotten a hold of some alcohol through friends. Where I live, it's legal to drink underage with consent from parents, and I baked a cake. The whole house was decorated, and everything seemed to be going great. I stayed away from the group, letting Elle have her fun around her friends, and drank by myself on the couch, making sure nothing too bad happened. I talked to one of mine and Elle's mutual friends, F. F hung with me towards the middle, when I had started to get drunk enough to act a bit out of character, but not enough to not remember what would happen. F, dude, look. Motions behind me. I look where he suggested, only to see Neckbeard staring at me from where he sat with Elle and her friends. I looked away. F, you're all he talks about now, you know? He's got one hell of a crush on you. OP, really? I've had around 2 conversations with him max. F, yeah, it's crazy. It makes Elle hella weirded out. As if he could hear us talking about him, Neckbeard then sat next to me on the couch, close enough to have our thighs touching. Neckbeard.
Hi guys. F, I think Elle's gonna start a game of Uno. She wants you to join.
F decided to join Elle, giving me a sympathetic look as he left me with Neckbeard. Bad friend. Good God. Once we were alone, it started. His hands never left me. They were always on a part of me, whether it was my clothes or actual body parts. I never liked being touched much, so it creeped me out and put me on edge. At this point, though, I was too drunk to be able to do anything about it. But why'd you get that drunk, though? It's called operational security, alright? OPSEC, always! Neckbeard.
Hey Gerard, you seem to be close with F.
OP, huh? Oh yeah, he's a good friend. His tone, from what I remember, was slightly off, as if he was angry with me. Neckbeard.
Have you been? You look good. It's been a while since I've seen your pretty face.
I shifted away from him then. I remember not wanting to be anywhere near him as he said that. What made it worse was his hand on my arm. I wanted to vomit. OP, thanks. Could you please not touch me? Neckbeard.
Why? Aren't you gay?
That was a head spinner at the time. I wasn't out to a lot of people then. Only L, F, and some of my other friends. I asked him how he knew that, and he said that he saw L texting me about it once. I sighed. OP, aren't you dating L? Neckbeard.
Yeah, but it's recent. It's not like I'm not allowed to experiment.
His hand moved to my thigh, and I attempted to shift away, but I'd drunken a lot by that point, and I wasn't anywhere near strong enough to move his 6-foot body with my 5'6" one. He moved to press into me more and grab my chin, forcing me to kiss him as I tried to wriggle away. It didn't work. He shifted to move on top of me, and his knee pushed into my crotch. Neckbeard.
Just let it happen. I promise. It'll feel fine.
I started to have a panic attack as memories of past years came back from his actions, and I started to sob. I all but screamed at him to get off, called Elle's name, and started to thrash around. He seemed to get scared by my actions and jumped off. I don't remember what happened after that, as I was in the middle of a panic attack, but I was told that he left, and L and F helped me upstairs to my room. Again, I don't know if it fits here much, but I didn't know where else to go, and I needed to get this off my chest. So the first thing that I'd like to point out to everybody here is, if you're not in a completely safe and comfortable environment, do not partake in mind-altering drugs. That includes alcohol. You could have been much more in control of the situation, OP. I could go off on that line a lot further, but I don't want to get accused of victim blaming or something like that. Obviously, this Neckbeard fella's just a piece of trash, and that ain't your fault. I'm super glad that your sister eventually, I assume, was able to get away from him, unless she insisted on dating somebody that had tried to rape her brother at one point. That's like an episode of Jerry Springer just come to life. What is going on? I honestly think you probably should have pressed charges. I don't know how far that would have gone, but it would have sent an even further message to stay the hell away from me. In the end, it doesn't seem like karma got to this guy, at least not in this case, and he'll probably try it again with somebody else at some point, which makes me sad. So watch out for them neckbeards, even if they don't seem like neckbeards, you know? Like I always say, it is the beard on the inside that counts. finally, lastly, you don't have to hang out with anybody that you don't like. Even if it's your sister's boyfriend or best friend or whatever, if you don't like them, just remove yourself from the situation. If she decides she wants to continue doing that, then, I don't know, she'll probably find out her mistake at some point. You can't save people from themselves. Focus on saving yourself. That might seem cold, but that's how it really be. They don't think it be like it is, but it do. Anyways, pretty beefy story. I got one more beefy story, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. My many adventures with a pervy neckbeard. Another one? Another one. First time posting here. Long time lurker, but just now getting the chance to post. I used to dream about having a run-in with a neckbeard so I could share my story, and then I realized that I do have a story. This happened during my freshman year. Buckle up because this is a long one. This happened in my first year of high school, back when I was a wee naive girl who had no clue what a neckbeard even was. I was never a popular kid. I always fit in with the rejects though. That quickly got me into trouble, however. Fresh out of middle school, I joined drama class, and that's where I met him, the terrifying neckbeard. Let me make one thing clear though, he did not actually look like a neckbeard at all. He was Asian, skinny, had a baby face with no facial hair whatsoever, and actually smelled decent, unlike most of the other lads that people seem to run into. However, he was obsessed with anime, had a fedora, and would occasionally refer to us as "M'lady." Run, OP! The beard on the inside is too strong. He would Naruto run, use pressure points on people while trying to act cool, and strike anime poses constantly. As soon as I walked into the classroom on my first day, this boy immediately caught my eye. He was peppy and energetic and loved anime, like me. Now my first thought was, I want to be friends with this kid. I walked up to him and introduced myself, and we quickly became friends. Oh boy, I didn't realize what I had just gotten myself into. A few of my other old friends from middle school joined this drama class, and I was excited to be with them. We quickly introduced this kid into our friend group. Let's call him Perv. PERVBEARD. PERVBEARD was a great guy at first. We all loved talking about TV and video games and just nerding out in general. My sister had tutoring, and because of that, I had to stay late and wait for her to finish before my mom picked us up. I always waited at the library with my friends, so it was no big deal. One day, everyone left early, and it was only me and PERVBEARD. We sat down at the table and started talking, and then he said, "Hey, do you watch hentai?" For those who don't know what hentai is, it's anime porn. Keep in mind, I had only known PERVBEARD for a short 2 weeks. Excuse me?
I can give you a few suggestions to watch.
I was grossed out, but I ignored the red flags. No thanks.
Okay.
The next day, everything returned to normal. I soon pushed that encounter out of my mind. We exchanged numbers, and soon he started role-playing through text. He said things like,
Waves at you, grinning. Looks in your bio to see what it's about. Ooh woo.
I eventually asked him what the hell he was doing.
Do you not like it?
He asks. No, not really.
Okay, I'll stop.
And he actually stopped. Eventually, he brought in his fedora to school. We were all joking around in the theater auditorium and goofing off in the chairs. I tip back to find that PERVBEARD is behind me, and he puts his fedora over my eyes so my face is covered. I'm laughing and being an idiot when suddenly I hear my male friend, let's call him B, screaming at PERVBEARD. Keep in mind I couldn't see anything as the fedora was covering my eyes. PERVBEARD is acting innocent and playing it cool, and my other friend is fuming. PERVBEARD refuses to tell me what happened, saying,
"Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it."
And then the school bell rings, dismissing us from school. He runs off before I can pester him further. As we're leaving, I flag down B and ask him what happened. He tells me that while the fedora was over my eyes, PERVBEARD reached over to try and grab my tits. Luckily, B stopped him by screaming. I was enraged, but didn't call PERVBEARD out on it. Instead, I ignored him for a while. Despite this second massive red flag, I still hung out with him for some stupid reason. A couple weeks later, he texts me a link to a song and says,
"It's really good. You should listen to it."
me, being the idiot, actually clicks on it to see what it's about. It's a Vocaloid song about panties. Dude, I don't want to listen to this, I text back.
"But it's really good."
I didn't want to make him angry, despite this third massive red flag. So I pretended I listened to the video and said I watched it.
"Was it good?"
I guess, I text back, cringing. Eventually, me and my friends get into D&D, and PERVBEARD offers to be a DM. We're thrilled, thinking that we're finally going to be able to play this game that we've wanted to try for ages. We form a small group, just me, PERVBEARD, and another friend I'll call A, and set up a date. He texts me,
"Hey, A can't make it to the session, but you can still come. My parents won't be home, so it'll just be us."
I, being the innocent idiot, am still ready to go, even though this was obviously a setup to get into my pants. I ask my mom if I can go, and because she has more common sense than me, she refuses. I'm upset, thinking that now I won't get to play the game, and I tell him that I'm not coming. He sulks and whines, trying to get me to try talking to my parents again, but I tell him that once my parents make up their minds, they can't be swayed. A couple weeks later, I talk to my other friend while PERVBEARD isn't around. I'll call her D, and she tells me that while they were sitting together under a blanket, he grabbed her butt and started whispering dirty things in her ear. I'm upset now, but we again don't confront PERVBEARD about this fifth massive red flag. The next day, I see him cornering my crush, who was also a girl, Boo Boo. Boo Boo had never been flirted with before and wasn't looking for a relationship at all, and when he pins her up against the wall, I can see the fear in her eyes. I roughly shove PERVBEARD off and tell him that he can't just do that to people, with a fake but tense smile on my face and murder in my eyes. He pouts,
"I was just joking, jeez,"
and walks off. I turn to Boo Boo and ask her if she's alright. She hugs me and thanks me for protecting her, and I say I'm just glad that I was able to help. Our friend group then started up a comic club, with a good mix of a few boys and girls since we all wanted to make a comic together. It goes nowhere, and eventually just becomes a club where we all talk. One day, PERVBEARD suggests that we all share our darkest secrets. We're in the corner of the room, so the teacher supervising us can't hear us. We all go around, each telling our secrets. Most were silly and harmless. I'm the second to last one, so I open up about how I was suicidal at the time. I'm in a much better mental state now, and they all comfort me. I turn to PERVBEARD. We all went. Now it's your turn.
"Oh, I don't wanna. Mine is embarrassing anyways."
He literally fiddles his fingers like a shy anime girl. This was your idea in the first place. You should go. D pipes up.
"Fine."
PERVBEARD sighs dramatically, and then confesses his secret.
"I've been having sexual fantasies about all the girls in the club."
We all go silent. You could hear a pin drop. We all have disgusted looks on our faces, and we look at each other, checking if what he just said was real and not something that we all misheard. B and a few others silently get up and storm out of the room, slamming the door behind them. The rest of us stay, shocked. No one knows what to say. This was his idea in the first place, after all. The club session ends, and we all leave. And while we're walking, I catch up to PERVBEARD. I have a plan, though. Hey, what was I doing in your dream?
"You were showing yourself off,"
he says, almost dreamily. Oh, okay. I run off, and from then on, I make it my personal goal to never take off my jacket or to show off any more skin than I need to in front of PERVBEARD. He starts making jokes that whenever a girl in our group said, "Oh my god, I want to die," jokingly, he said that he would turn us into his undead sex slave. Zombie hookers, this is normal. Everything's normal. But wait! It gets worse. But wait, there's more! I'm talking to PERVBEARD and a few other friends, and a teacher overhears us and forces me to report it to the school. and I learned that he has done this before with many other girls. One of my other friends who was on the swim team tells me that he sent her text about how he wanted to sneak into the locker room and watch her change, and that he would love to see her in a bikini. It gets to the point where I wasn't allowed to be in the same room as him, and I had boys offering to beat him up for me. Yeah, go ahead. I was told, along with many other girls, that I could press charges against him because we were victims of disorderly conduct. With all the shit he did, he could have gone to jail, but no one pressed charges. I wanted to, but my mother wouldn't let me. He got suspended for like 2 weeks. He wasn't suspended the first time, and it was peaceful. No one had to worry about him for a short period of time, and it was heaven on earth. Then the dreaded day comes when he comes back, and he has a new hair color. His parents rewarded him with letting him dye his hair bright blue. When he comes back, I decide it's finally time to confront him face to face. My friend group flocks around me as I storm out into the hall to confront PERVBEARD. Everyone is mad at him at this point. I ask him what the hell was going through his head to make him do these kinds of things. He sulks and looks down, except he wasn't looking at the floor. No. He was looking at my tits the whole time while I chewed him out for his behavior. I had enough and yelled, "My boobs don't have eyes! Look me in the damn eyes, PERVBEARD!" He flinches and makes eye contact with me, looking like a dog that had just been scolded for ruining someone's slippers. PERVBEARD mutters an apology and scurries off, and he soon leaves the school for good, but not before he sends me one last text. It's a long-winded paragraph, and at the end he asked me to apologize to all the girls for him, because he just couldn't show his face at school anymore. I left him on red. Good move. TLDR, innocent-looking Neckbeard is horrible to a bunch of girls at school. Tries to suggest porn to me, invite me to his house when his parents weren't home, gropes a girl, tries to grope me, sends creepy texts, makes horrible jokes, and for the grand finale, confesses that he had sexual fantasies about us. He finally gets suspended, and is rewarded with a new hair color by his parents. I chew him out, and he stares at my breasts the whole time. The Neckbeard later sends me a text to ask me to apologize in his place to all the girls at school, and I ignore him. Again, I don't want to be a victim blamer, but OP, how many red flags does it take? I guess I get being young, not having had these experiences before, and you're like, okay, just one more chance, just one more chance. But really, if you don't have any actual ties to this person, then just break it off. Who cares? In the end, I'm definitely glad that you did confront him, because there has to be some sort of repercussions for his actions, you know what I mean? Obviously his parents aren't taking it seriously, and that's probably one of the reasons why he is the way that he is. I find it really unfortunate that charges weren't pressed. At a certain point, you just have to be like, you know what, damn what my mom says. She doesn't want to deal with it, she doesn't have to. Just create a record, start a paper trail on this guy's disgusting behavior, so that once he's a legal adult, they could be like, boom, you're a sex offender, congratulations. Welcome to the real world, jackass. I think high school is possibly the only place that you could get away with that, and I find that pretty unfortunate. Unacceptable, because in a few short years, PERVBEARD is gonna be walking among us, which is horrifying. So treat it seriously, make sure there are consequences for his actions, right? Right. I even clapped when I said that because I know that's what people do when they're super serious. Anyways, friends, I'm super serious in hoping that you guys will like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did enjoy the episode, also check out the links in the description to Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And as always, I'd like to give a shout out to my beautiful, beautiful patrons: Just Austin, Robert Waits, Dot Nathan, Crimson Albedo, Lady Nix, Radimus Cisco, Damon Darkstar, and the OG, Nico the Legend. I appreciate you guys listening along with me. Pajama Beard is what I'm working on next. That will probably be a multi-part series, otherwise it's going to take hours and hours and hours. Anyways, you'll see when the video comes out. This content seems to be performing pretty well, so entitled parents will be taking a back seat to the Neckbeards, at least for a little while, as we try and get this channel to grow even further. Oh my god, we're almost at 400 subs. Thank you so much, you guys. Our watch time is totally good. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, this channel is like monetized instantly. Bing, bing, boom, boom. and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So spread the word. We got 600 subs to go. I appreciate it so much. This has been some exponential growth. I've gotten some lovely comments, and I'm super encouraged to keep going. So thank you guys. As always, I will catch you in the next one. Please don't forget to wear your mask. Don't forget to wash your hands, because you are loved, you are valuable, and you definitely deserve it. So I will see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.